Ian, thanks so much for your time. I mean, you're arguing that the view that Australia is a difficult investment destination based on the mistakes of many big companies we've seen in recent years is inaccurate. Why so?
Hi, Fifi. Thanks for having me on your show. Yes, I think I think people sometimes don't recognize or understand the Australian market for what it truly is. It is a tech-savvy market that understands the use of technology and selling to customers and providing services and products to customers. Retail in Australia is probably going in the same direction that you're seeing in the UK, where people are going more and more for virtual purchasing over the internet rather than going into store, i.e. sort of going to your shopping centers and the like. So just by its very nature, the physical or retailers are going to struggle, and it's a tough market. And there's an old saying in Australia which says that if a business is struggling in Australia, there's a good reason for it. Don't think that you as a South African can go and change it, because Australians have tried and they haven't succeeded. But that doesn't mean that there aren't opportunities in South Africa. You know, you've had some great success stories over the last couple of years. Logistics, food, Bidfood has been an outstanding success since 1995. Nando's, more than 270 stores in Australia. You've had Murray and Roberts with Cloch and the like. So there have been success stories. Retail just seems to be one area we're not particularly good at.
Yeah, and perhaps if we just stay on the winners, what is it that they got right that retailers like Woolworths are not getting right?
Okay, so if you look at Bidfood, at the end of the day, it's primarily really a logistics business. And logistics has been a big growth area in Australia the last couple of years. Mainly, again, that's because of internet and virtual shopping. So that requires a logistics backbone and product deliveries and the like. And that's where Bidfood has done exceptionally well in the services industry over the last 20 years over there. If you look at Nando's, again, a unique product, unique service line, a competitive advantage, a knowledge of a particular product which is not well known in Australia. They brought a product line which not anybody particularly had any skills in the Australian market, and for that reason have been very competitive.
I mean, so are you saying that if you are looking to do business in Australia, the kind of business that can potentially succeed is one that is very focused on using technology as the backbone?
Very much so, because that's very much the Australian story. If you look at Australia, it's probably one of the most well-developed countries technology-wise, and people are generally very well educated. They have a strong schooling system over there. So if you want to compete in that market, you've got to have a strong technology backbone as part of your offering to that market. Otherwise, you are going to struggle to compete. And again, retail, it's a tough market. I mean, we've seen very few South Africans succeed. I would say, with the exception of 2 or 3 really strong and dominant players in the Australian market, most people don't really do very well in that space.
And talk to me about the regulatory environment in Australia. I see here that you say that some South African businesses tend to actually misjudge what is an extensive regulatory environment.
Australia is a highly regulated economy. It has so much regulation from labor through to things like investment from offshore, through to just about any type of consumer protection, competition law, securities law. It is a highly regulated environment. And if you don't understand that, and that is going to be part of what you face in bringing services and products to that market, you are going to find suddenly that you are offside, as it were, to the regulators, and you're going to start picking up difficulties.
And I mentioned data tech. We haven't mentioned those, but also companies that got it right in do we call it down under?
Yeah, well, let's say Australasia, as it were, the southern part, southeastern part of the Asian area. It's technology skills, technology abilities that have been brought to that market, because that's where the winners are playing at the moment, and those are the guys that are actually succeeding in that market.
Quick one, advice for Woolworths if it wants to get itself out of this difficult position right now?
I would hate to be giving Woolworths advice. I think it's got some really excellent people that know what they're doing. But I do believe retail in Australia, particularly the non-virtual sector, as it were, the sort of the storefront business, is going to struggle. Will continue to struggle, and will pretty much go the way that we've seen the UK retail has gone, and that is that the virtual retailers are going to dominate and become stronger to an extent where it will start impacting property values, shopping centres, and the like as well in the future.
Well, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much, Ian Matthews, Bravura Head of Business Development.